Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. And today's topic is Germany versus Switzerland. Which country is better to live in? People love saying Switzerland is obviously better, higher salaries, lower taxes, mountains, clean streets, end of discussion. And then there are other people who say Germany is better, more affordable, more social security, more culture, more opportunities. And after living between both countries for years, I think both sides are oversimplifying it because Germany and Switzerland are not really competing for the same type of person. One country is much better if you want security, affordability, and more accessible everyday life. And the other is much better if you want efficiency, order, higher income, and you're ready to pay for basically everything yourself. And I know I'm going to annoy both Germans and Swiss with this video, so let's do it. And first point is money. Let's start with the obvious one, salaries. Switzerland wins, obviously. There is no serious debate here. You can earn significantly more for the same type of professional job. Taxes can also be much lower depending on where you live. It depends on the canton. So on paper, Switzerland looks unbeatable. But then you start living here and you pay rent, you pay health insurance, you pay childcare, restaurants, services, hairdressers, cleaning, car service, delivery, whatever. Basically, anything that requires another human being to do something for you becomes super expensive. We once ordered McDonald's delivery in Switzerland and paid around 80 francs. McDonald's, not a steak, not sushi, not some Michelin star restaurant. McDonald's. And that's when Switzerland reminds you yes, you earn more, don't get too excited. Germany pays less on the other side, but everyday life is much more accessible. Going for dinner doesn't automatically feel like an event. Ordering food doesn't require a financial strategy meeting. Getting your hair done doesn't feel like a luxury service. So, if you only compare gross salaries, Switzerland obviously wins. If you compare how freely you spend your money in normal daily life, Germany becomes much more competitive. Point number two, housing. This is one of the biggest differences for me. In Switzerland, apartment hunting can feel like applying for a job at Google. You find a nice apartment, amazing. So did 150 other people. You send documents, income statements, references, applications, motivation letters, and then you wait to find out whether the landlord has chosen you, and usually not so lucky. And the funniest part, you can be paying thousands in rent and still have a shared washing machine in the basement. Sometimes you can find an apartment with a washing machine inside. That's basically like a golden ticket. And in some apartments, you can't even simply install one because there is no appropriate connection. Germany has its own housing crisis, obviously, like cities Munich, Frankfurt, Berlin, Hamburg. Good luck with finding accommodation. But overall, I still find German housing much more practical. And if you're thinking about actually owning property, Germany wins for me by a huge margin. That's exactly why I invest in Germany. Buying an investment apartment in Germany is still realistic for an ordinary professional if the numbers work. In Switzerland, for many people, property ownership is almost another social class. Point number three, raising a family. Switzerland is incredibly safe, it's clean, organized, beautiful. On paper, it sounds like the perfect country for raising children, right? And in many ways, it is. But then you need childcare. And suddenly you realize why so many families calculate whether both parents working full time even makes sense, because childcare can cost thousands per month. Germany has its own problems in this area. Finding a kita place can make you question your sanity, but once you have one, childcare is generally much more subsidized. And that reflects a bigger difference between the countries. Germany often says, we'll take more from you, but we'll also support you more. Switzerland says, we'll let you keep more of your money, now organize your life. But you need to know which one suits you. Point number four, social life. This one will probably trigger Switzerland. Swiss people are very polite. You walk past someone, it's grüezi, they greet you, you enter somewhere, grüezi, hello, ade, merci, all this politeness. I mean, people acknowledge each other, they like to exchange pleasantries, and I actually like it. Germans don't always do this, and Swiss people think of Germans that they are rude. But here is the difference I personally feel. Germany is less formally polite, but often more spontaneous. Since having a baby, I've had so many random interactions in Germany where people come up to me and ask about the baby. They start small talks, conversations, they offer help. One time, a woman at a gas station watched my baby while I quickly went to the bathroom because there was nobody else to help me. She was a complete stranger. And in Switzerland, people are polite but much more distant, grüezi, smile, and goodbye. That's it. And one of the rare times a woman came over because my baby was smiling, and we ended up having this long, spontaneous conversation in the street, and it was in Switzerland. She turned out to be German. I'm sorry, Switzerland. Point number five, public transport. There is not much to debate here. Swiss public transport is the cleanest and most punctual I've ever experienced. If the train says 9:32, it arrives at 9:32. Minute in, minute out. The trains are clean, spotless, stations are clean, connections make sense. You can actually build your day around the timetable because it's trustworthy. In Germany, you build your day around the possibility that Deutsche Bahn has other plans. And people joke about it because otherwise they would cry. This is one area where Germany should honestly just copy Switzerland. No pride, no debate, just copy the homework. Bureaucracy. Germany is famous for its bureaucracy, of course. Everybody likes forms, letters, official letters, appointments, authorities sending you to another authority. Dafür sind wir nicht zuständig. That's classic. Switzerland also loves rules, but the difference I feel is that the system works much more efficiently. If you break a rule in Switzerland, you usually find out very quickly and you receive a huge penalty. You owe something, you get the bill. You did something wrong, fine, penalty, done. No discussions. There is less drama than in Germany, less endless back and forth, and personally, I like that. Rules are annoying when they are random and there is hesitations. Rules are much easier to accept when everyone understands them and they're consistently enforced. That's one reason Switzerland feels incredibly stable. Let's talk about cleanliness. This is one of my favorite things to talk about because there are public toilets, and I'm serious. I've traveled a lot, and Switzerland is one of the few places where I can walk into a random free public toilet and expect it to be clean. Train stations, parks, public spaces, regardless, everywhere, everything feels maintained. And maybe I'm weird, but this matters to me a lot. I have a very low tolerance for dirt, so Switzerland's obsession with cleanliness, keep it. Thank you. I support it completely. In Germany, because there are more people and not everybody likes to follow the rules, you should not expect clean toilets and spotless public spaces. No. Point number eight, food and normal life. Germany wins. I know Switzerland has raclette, fondue, rösti, and they are good, but personally, I think Germany has much more variety in food culture, especially Bavaria and Baden-Württemberg. They offer meat dishes, regional food markets, fresh produce, cakes. They have really good cakes, and the German bakeries. It's top tier. German bread is still some of the best I've ever had in my life, and food culture feels more accessible in Germany. You can go to a local market and buy good quality food without feeling like you're shopping in a luxury boutique. Switzerland has incredible restaurants somewhere, but again, you pay Swiss prices and they're ridiculous. Point number nine, success. Switzerland feels less ashamed of money, I should say. This is a cultural difference I find fascinating. Germany can sometimes have a strange relationship with wealth, especially German people have a strange attitude towards money. I mean, obviously, you can become successful in Germany. There are a lot of rich people there, but you shouldn't talk loudly about it. You shouldn't show it off too much. You shouldn't look too rich because people start judging. And Zurich feels completely different. Luxury cars, watches, brands, designer clothes, nice apartments. Nobody's ashamed to be successful and wealthy here. People openly enjoy wealth. It's almost capitalism without guilt. Sometimes Zurich feels like the European Dubai. Personally, I prefer that. I don't find anything to be ashamed of if you're successful and you have something to show off. I mean, yes, it's a European mentality overall that you shouldn't be bragging, and that's nice. But it also doesn't mean that you should hide your sport car in your garage and only drive in the night like I know some people do in Germany. I mean, come on. If someone builds something successful and wants to enjoy the result of it, why should that be automatically embarrassing? So, which country actually wins? This is where people always want one answer: Germany or Switzerland. And I don't think there is one. If you're young, highly qualified, ambitious, earning well, and you care about efficiency, safety, lower taxes, and building capital, Switzerland can be incredible for you. If you're raising a family, want more affordable everyday life, more social support, easy access to culture, more housing options, and larger economy, Germany can make much more sense. Personally, I use both countries differently. Germany is where I built my career, bought real estate, and learned how to invest. Switzerland gives me a completely different standard of efficiency, safety, and income, and maybe that's a real conclusion. Switzerland looks better from far away. Germany often feels better in everyday life. Once you've actually lived in both countries, you realize neither one is a paradise. They just have completely different strengths and weaknesses. Now I want to know, if you had the same job offer in both countries, would you go for Germany or Switzerland? And don't just write the country in the comments, tell me why. Because I already know the comment section is going to be a war zone. Thanks for watching my videos. Don't forget to subscribe and see you in the next one. Cheers.